Hey, Shalom, hey, Shalom, the of souls, but giving no praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kodash, the belongs to the apostles of great millstone, and honors you, brothers, doing the work of the most in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh, that's the real name of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, his real name is Yahweh, and his son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Ba meaning in, Ha meaning the, Sham meaning name, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. This is different news articles, a lot going on concurrently all at the same time. So first one says General Motors to temporarily halt production of nearly all US plants due to pandemic related chip shortage overseas. Now, when you are looking at what's going on in the whole world, here in the UK, you have shortages of chicken. You have McDonald's didn't have any milkshakes in any of the McDonald's apart from in Northern Ireland. So literally all of England, Scotland, and Wales, none of the McDonald's had any milkshakes or anything. Then would you call it Weatherspoons, which is a popular a pub chain here. They didn't have a couple sets of beers. Right, all I believe I'm missing a few things. I believe, maybe mistaken, right? But these are things that are being spoken of, and then now you're seeing General Motors basically saying, which the chip shortage that's been an issue for the longest time, for going on for a couple of months now, because it's in the headlines, so that's that, right? And once again, we know that this is all coming into this whole thing about the actual famines, right? And also just the lack of work that's going to be out there in these last days. So this is Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, where I'm going to start at verse 3. Says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves and the grinders cease because they are few, right? This is lack of laborers, lack of people working, right? And when you look at the whole thing about the the chip shortage, you really got to consider that this whole world is built off of interconnected microchip powered things, right? You have a car that has all kinds of computerisms going on in it. You buy and then you think about trucks. Right now, let's say you got trucks that need parts fixing or things are failing. Well, you can't just make new ones, right? So then that's going to impact those, and I don't know how regularly they need to be serviced or how regularly you need to get new trucks. But all of these things have a knock-on effect on the whole logistical chain, right? That's like not having enough microchips. That's like having something at the very root of your logistics system not being there, right? Now, for as long as everything, all everyone's equipment still works, as soon as you need to replace that equipment, you're gonna have problems, right? But this is a shadow of things to come, scarcity of things. Okay, like I said, it's a shadow of things to come, because right now people are still out here pretending that everything is good. Right, so carrying on, says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be dark. And that's talking about your financial forecasters, the ones that are in the know, have been saying for the longest time that actually, you're gonna have problems in these last couple of days, right? You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have market's going to be doing all kinds of different things, all of that. However, you've got the mainstream guys that aren't really even touching on that. They're saying, oh yeah, everything's going good, and then when it's too late, then they'll be like, oops, no, everything isn't going good, right? And then the people start to panic. Well, because in the video I did the other day, the spirit titled it, these people won't panic until they're told to, right? We're well aware what's going on. We're well aware that this man's about to crash the economy, but people are they're not, they're asleep, aren't they? Right, it says verse 4 says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Once again, if GM are having to shut that, which once again, GM, that's a major corporation, right? Major corporations have a bargaining power in terms of buying. Now, when you're buying wholesale, if it's me and I'm buying 10 items, right, maybe they might charge me $2, right? But if you're General Motors and you're buying, let's say now you're buying 100 items, they might charge you, $1.90, right? But once again, if you're General Motors and you're a huge corporation, you're not buying 10, you're not buying 100, you're buying 1 million, right? You're buying 2 million, right? Then maybe you might be able to get that at, say, $1. Oh, what the hell is it doing? You might be able to get that at like maybe $1.10, $1.20, whatever. Have you basically you get huge discounts, right? Because you're making large orders. Now, if General Motors and their buying power can't are struggling to get what do you call it, their supplies, right? Then would you think about your little businesses, your other guys, right? You're gonna get, because General Motors might be able to afford to furlough their staff or have their staff not doing anything, but little businesses ain't gonna be able to do that. Okay, they're gonna have to shut up shop, right? So that's it. The sound of grinding being low, you're gonna have a lot less jobs out here in these last a couple of days, right? Especially with the advent of technology, artificial intelligence, all of the above. So this is the next one, exclusive Amazon to remove more content that violates rules from cloud service, sources say. Now, when you jump down here, Amazon, right, run around about 40%, of the so you've got the global, the cloud service providers. So that is your Amazon Web Services. You've got Google Cloud Platform, GCP. You've got Microsoft's Azure network, and I believe you've got a couple coming out of China, or one or two coming out of China. Right now, these are platforms that make where basically if you have a website, you want to put it out there, or basically different things that you want running on the internet, you put it on one of, if you're on the West, one of those three major platforms. You do have smaller guys, smaller fish to fry, but basically Amazon run a lot of the internet is the point that I'm trying to get, right? And basically they've just, in this, they basically said, look, man, we're going to start regulating what people can and can't do online, right? Can and can't say online. And it's not going to stop at Amazon AWS, Amazon Web Services. It's also going to go to GCP, then Azure, right? And what's this going to say? This is going to basically mean that any website, any bit of information out there on the net that does not comply, right, is going to be taken offline, right? So we get to what we always look at that as. This is Amos 8:11. Says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, or a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. Right, and we can see this more and more, just how it's all gonna play out. The famine of the word, the famine of truth, right? Because right now you can, let's say you're not into the Israelite things, if you just want to know what's going on in the world, you can pull up Darbu7, right? Oh, his channel's taken off of YouTube. Okay, you pull up D Live. Oh, D Live keeps posting videos. Let's say D Live is run on Amazon Web Services, right? Or D Live is constantly has a lot of people on there that are posting things that aren't contrary to what is accepted. Okay, so D Live gets taken offline. Just like you had with that pro-Trump social network, right? That got taken offline, and once again, that was setting precedents. I forgot who said it. I forgot whether it was someone in the truth, or someone out there in the world, But if you're able to censor a president, right? Because at the time, I believe he was still sitting. It was a sitting president. If you're able to censor a sitting president, then what the hell? What about the rest of us? Got no hope, right? So this here, once again, proof that way. This get it while you can, right? Get it while you can, because the doors are closing, man. It's Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Okay. So that's it on that. This is next one. It says that New York Post, at least 36 people killed overnight in New York City, New Jersey during historic floods. And once again, the there just keeps being historic, this historic that, in terms of weather, in terms of um uh, uh, uh in terms of weather, in terms of celestial happenings in the skies, and all these different things just keep happening, right? Because the Lord is getting ready to visit this world, the world which He made. Isaiah 29:6 says, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and a flame of devouring fire." Right, and once again, this is something you've just been seeing all year long, right? And in greater frequency and greater strength, he will tell you, oh, this is global warming, yada yada yada. But look, we understand this is the Lord judging this place. Right, this is the Lord judging this place. Right now, what's interesting about this is, one of the things that was highlighted was the fact that a lot of this was to do with bad infrastructure, right? Because America is crumbling now. In contrast, you have a country like Japan, where under their cities you actually have huge caves under their, like, man-made caves under their city, as to basically handle flood waters. Okay, obviously because of where it's located. But then again, you can say the same thing about America. Right? America is basically built on, in the flight path of hurricanes. Right, there's in the east coast, the Gulf, is it the Gulf? Right, it's in the uh, uh, uh in the path of a hurricane, man. Right, so you got, Louisiana, and then what, you have the whole levee system break, which, there's conspiracy theories on that, right? But yeah, all of these different things, man, right? It says Isaiah 14:11 says, "Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee." Right, and those worms, that's representing a corrosion, the decay of this man's system. Why? Because it was, well, the word decadent literally means decay, right? And this is the age of decadence, right? You have the age of, if you look up the 7 ages of empires, this is the age of decadence, which people more often mistake that word, myself included, to being, a time, of good, of pomp, right? But this is the age of decadence, man, where everything declines, right? Where society declines, more morals decline, right? Or look at all of the hype about the new law in Texas, right? Which is wickedness. Okay, so just some news and brief, different, a few different things. I closed the other tab, but chip shortage, New York flooding, and Amazon to censor more content. Right. So as always, Lord, I was edifying. Till next time, we say Shalom.